A man who has knocked Edward Heath from his poop as Britain's best-known yachtsman, Simon Le Bon. I would say on the whole they're quite pleased to see you back, aren't they?
Yeah, not half as pleased as I am to see them back.
Yeah, I'm always pleased when they turn up at all. See, you're home and dry, and I thought you looked a bit weather-beaten.
Well, yeah, we had a bit of a blow just as we came in, just up the Solent. It was blowing about 30 knots, still 30, 40 knots, and it's big wind for those big sails.
Yeah.
And just as we crossed the line, we pulled down the jib top, which was up, and it was a shocking wave got me right there. Cold English water.
You know, it's an extraordinary thing, and I'm not interrupting your flow, but it's the only time doing this show I've ever heard I can hear people out in the street screaming. So there must be some kind of sixth sense that you're off. Anyway, no sooner did you come through the Solent, and having been nearly capsized off Uruguay and all the rest of it, that you were pummeled by the customs, which seemed a little strange.
No, not really. I mean, I think it's I'm a dead ringer for it. Pop star comes back from South America. I mean,
yeah, but it's the whitbread, isn't it, really? I mean, you had thrown all the booze overboard almost as soon as you... No, you hadn't really. You'd been given a lot of whiskey and you threw it overboard.
Yeah, we had to lighten the boat up, so we had to get rid of a lot of these freebies that we got,
Didn't throw any crew members overboard, right?
No, we nearly did, but I behaved myself for that day, so I didn't go.
Yeah. So an enormously exciting experience for you. Everything you thought it would be, or do you feel a slight sense of anticlimax now?
Oh, now a very big anticlimax, because it's the kind of thing which is just going to fold up very quickly. You know, after working for 7 months in the drum team, you know, each of us doing our different thing. I mean, I've been involved very much with the publicity side of getting people interested in the boat and in the whitbread race. Yeah. And sailing that boat for those 2 legs, putting every ounce of energy that I really could into that boat. I know that now we've actually arrived back in port. It'll be a week, it'll be old news, and we'll just be looking at something to do.
How are you going to top it, you see? What do you do next?
Oh, I don't know. Make a decent Duran album. Yeah. Good one of those.
Yes, I think the audience agree with that. Yeah. You joined the boat halfway round, as it were. Did you find it difficult to integrate with the rest of the crew, who had already been together for some weeks?
Well, no, not really, because I've been part of, as I said, part of the drum team for, well, it's nearly 2 years now, and that's been putting the boat together. We did the races in the Maxi Series in the Solent last summer, and of course we have the Upside Down Club as well. Yeah.
You didn't feel, did that add to your apprehension, that almost fatal accident in the Fastnet?
It gave me some hard nights when I first got on the boat, yes, when we were slamming into waves, and I suddenly had this feeling that it was going to happen again. But then I had the support of the crew and people who'd actually been on 2 legs before me saying, come on, Simon, just get into it with us, you know, you pull that rope like I'm going to pull this one, and don't think about the keel falling off or the mast coming down or the boat turning upside down, and we'll get there, and we'll get there fast if we concentrate on making the boat go fast.
But it must have been, the discomfort must have been tremendous. First of all, you haven't got much space, but you must have been wet most of the time.
Yeah, that's a big problem. It's the wet. Also, well, I'll start with the wet bit. This is really good. Yeah, you go to bed wet, in wet thermal underwear, because it's the only way to dry it. So you wake up damp. And, of course, you're woken up after 4 hours. It's 4 hours on, watch, 4 hours off. And 4 hours just isn't enough time to have a comfortable sleep in any situation.
Even if you could sleep in those conditions, can you sleep with the boat going all over the place and the wind?
I assure you, sometimes I'd come off watch and I'd be almost asleep before I got into my bunk. It's the energy that you use, not only sailing the boat, but actually preserving your life. I think that probably about 60% of the energy that you have is used in holding on and watching out for the ropes and the sheets and the things that can take you off overboard, and looking after other people as well. I had my life saved by 2 guys on the boat, Neil, Cheston and Yana. I was helping pulling a spinnaker and I got the wrong side of the sheet. The spinnaker went out and it pulled my legs like there, right over the lifelines. One of them held on to me, the other one pushed the rope out of the way. And it's that kind of, that's the amazing thing about it actually, realizing that you actually have the lives of other people's in your hands, and you really have a responsibility towards them, and you must use your energy to look after them as well as race that boat.
So how is it, would you say it must have changed you as a person? If you can, even at this remove, look back.
If it has changed me, it's given me a yardstick. It's given me something very simple and very demanding, but something quite identifiable in my life that I can measure other experiences against.
Is pop music not going to seem very small beer after this?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, I'm desperate to get back in Duran and start writing again. I've had lots of tunes going on in my head while I've been at sea, and we've been talking with the guys sort of regularly. I've been on the radio phone to them. Contrary, actually, to one of the reports in the newspaper, which said that Andy was poised to quit. This is John Blake getting his facts wrong yet again.
Well, there were a lot of all sorts of bizarre reports, including your marriage, and including, you know, I don't know how you could possibly carry on and drum with somebody else, but particularly with the boat all over the place. But you nearly capsized.
Well, I quite fancy the cook, you know.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Well, I suppose after a while anybody looked good on the boat, didn't they? What was your most memorable moment? What will stay with you?
The most memorable moment. I mean, there were some scary moments. There was a moment when we went over and the boat stayed on its side in a broach for about 5 minutes and we were running about. That wasn't the most memorable moment. There was the line crossing, the secret and appalling rites that they give to initiates of the equator. The first time you cross the line, you go through this appalling ceremony with King Neptune and Pirate, his helper, and it's secret. Only sailors know about it. That was shocking, involving drinking of a bottle of Bollinger champagne
That's really
and
tough, yes.
that sort of
Yes.
thing.
A rough old life at sea.
Terrible, but that wasn't the most memorable moment. I'm getting my money's worth, aren't I? You've got to admit. I think the most memorable moment was actually coming around back to home, seeing England for the first time, and just knowing that every minute we were getting closer, and... Am I saying the right things,
Yes,
Terry?
right, you are. Keep talking, they love it.
And just getting closer, and we let off flares, and we saw people on the boats who came out to meet us, and then actually came aboard, and then the customs guys got on. We stayed on board for a bit longer, and then I got off and I saw my wife for the first time in a month, and that was just a very, very big moment for me. Yeah,
well, I can tell you, not only was she hungry for your love, but she's eaten all the food in hospitality as well. And now that you're back, her appetite has returned. And we're delighted to have you back. Simon Le Bon.
Thanks very much.